Hello and welcome everyone to HTMcast 15.
Are we on 15?
I hope it's 15.
It's 16, isn't it?
I think it's 15.
We did 15 after the 14 nonsense.
Yeah, there was the 14 on. Yeah, we're on 16. HTMcast 16.
We're losing track of numbers, guys.
But we're almost legal.
Hey. There are 3 of us, and if 2 go down, you're going down too, man.
In this podcast, we talk about video games and such. Mostly League of Legends and such, but then we go on to other video games and such. We start off with News or I Feed, which is League of Legends news, handled by Mishi.
Alright, so first off, the Oceania server is now available at 0 RP. RP or IP? Well, it's free. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's free to switch over to there. Now, normally there are skins that are released for people who switch over, but there's not one. So people who switch over get pool party zigs as well as zigs and IP and XP boost. And eventually there will be an actual skin for this. They actually, they couldn't come up with it in time, and they decided it was either wait for them to make a skin, which would have been 3 or 4 months, or make the server now. So they're making the server now, and then we'll get a skin for that at some point.
And the server is by far more important. People getting their own servers is huge.
Yeah. Now, where is Oceania? Where is that?
This is Australia and the area around that.
That's what I thought it was, but...
So the Aussies no longer have to kill themselves on our servers.
Which is good. And then next, this is still PvE stuff, but on the PB, there's LCS Summer Team Summoner icons for purchase. They're set at 250 RP at the moment. And hopefully those will be live soon. I guess you get to pick whatever one you want, and you get it forever, of course, because you paid for it, to represent what team you want. So that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how it's going to work, because this is, I think, the first one they've had in a while where you actually have to pay for it. But I don't know if that's going to be so well received. But it's not a lot. Most of that is just leftover RP, in my opinion.
This is the first time they've charged for summoner icons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does the RP go... Well, does the money that we spend on it go to the team?
I remember something about there was some sort of royalties involved, wasn't there?
20% of the revenue from the LCS icons will go to the teams, with the remainder used toward esports.
All right, then. Then that's completely legitimate.
And that's quoted from Udyr.
Because then you're not buying the summoner icon, you're donating to LCS, and you get a free summoner icon.
And segue from Udyr, we finally have pictures of the new legendary skin.
Ultimate.
Whatever.
Ultimate Udyr.
Super
Spirit
expensive.
God Udyr.
Pulse Fire Udyr.
Pretty much. It looks really cool. And I love that there's 4 different splash arts for that, but I'm wondering what they're going to do with that. We haven't seen an official splash art yet. We've just seen 4 of the,
One of each of his, final forms, whenever he maxes out the rank of the ability, he just becomes that animal. And there's a splash art for each ability. So, I don't actually know what they're going to do for, the legit splash art.
Yeah, that's my thing. I was wondering, I made the comment, you also get to pick summoner icons and banners for this to represent which, animal you're rooting for, or you like best, or form you like best. And I was wondering if, depending on what your icon was, if that decided what picture was going to show for that, because that would be kind of cool.
That's probably what it is, because that's how Pulse Fire Ezreal works. You get the banner if you have the icon equipped.
Yeah, but I was wondering what skin they would show, so...
For the splash art.
Or if they'll just... it says Splash currently in progress for his voice, so...
For people who don't know Udyr, the options are Tiger, where he's got massive claws and an epic beard. Turtle, where he's got a mohawk. Bear, where he's all blue and his hair is all like Goku Super Saiyan.
Looks like Wolverine to me.
That is very true. And then Phoenix, where he's got the wings.
All of his faces look Wolverine to me. It's just the bear one that it's got the hair to go with it. Wonder if that was intentional.
That makes a lot of sense because the tiger claws look a lot like Wolverine claws, to be perfectly honest.
But for 4 days after release, it will be 950 RP. Then it'll go up to 3250 RP, and they're doing another bundle thing where if you don't own Udyr, it'll be 2,295 to get the skin and
How
him
much
for
was
4
it
days
for
after
cheap?
release. 1950.
Okay, I thought you said 950, and I'm like, what?
No.
This is an ultimate skin. It is very pricey, but from what we have seen, it is very, very worth it if you are an Udyr fan, because each of his stances like changes all of his voiceovers, and he has different quotes for all of his stances and everything he could possibly do in each of those stances.
There's different models for the levels of skills, right?
Yes,
Or is
if
there
you
just like
own,
a really cool one for level 5?
it's really cool for level 5. Nothing else.
But yeah, if anything, this is a better deal than PFE because you get like 4 icons out of it too. So
I'm curious to see how the icons are going to work. I don't know which one to pick because I really want the Phoenix one because I like Phoenixes, but the bear one looks really cool.
obviously Phoenix.
I know, I feel like everyone's going to pick that. I don't know, I probably should play Udyr and then figure out which one I like best.
I'm torn between Tiger and Turtle because Tiger stance is my favorite, but Turtles, I like Turtles.
Technically, you like tortoises.
Well, yes, but they're very close cousins.
Oh, okay. Any other time we say that, you argue with us.
Well, now we're on the internet, and I'm a different person on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
See how it is? All right. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited about this. I think it's cool, but I have no interest in Udyr. And he's not even one of those champions that's played a lot, so...
But
Yeah.
Udyr did deserve this.
Yeah.
He has not had a skin since his release, and he was like one of the first, champions released after the game was launched.
I'm happy for Udyr players. I'm just kind of mad about the skin in general for myself. It's badass, but I'm just not good at Udyr.
I've never even played him, so... Alright, moving on. There is... I'm thinking a new Sejuani skin. I don't think we've actually had an official American release of this, have we? Like an announcement or anything? But apparently in a Russian tournament thing on the Twitch stream, they showed the splash art of Bear Cavalry Sejuani, and it looks absolutely awesome.
She's riding a bear, and she's swinging around a landmine.
And the bear has a metal jaw, I am pretty sure.
That's what that looks like.
One of them has an eye patch. Either her or the bear has an eye patch.
What do you mean?
The bear might have an eye patch.
It does have an eye patch.
Okay, that's awesome.
Well, it's more of like a bandana wrapped around.
I don't give a fuck. It's awesome.
There's so much awesome in that skin.
But
The servers can't even handle it.
I just really want to see what it's going to look like in game first. Because I'm like, oh, Sejuani skin. But I'm still kind of holding out for when she gets to ride a wolf. So I'm kind of waiting. Maybe this will be like a placeholder until the wolf one comes out, whenever that'll be.
I don't think you drink enough vodka for this skin, Mishy.
What?
I don't think you're alcoholic enough to be able to use the skin.
I'm not alcoholic at all, so...
Exactly. That's a problem.
Alright, and I think that's all I have for my section.
Alright, when Mishy is done, Tibble comes out to play. He lurks in the shadows of the forums. Tibble's forum lurking. I talk about red posts. Well, I would talk about red posts if I had anything to talk about. There's been the update to the Grumpy Monkey thread, his art thread, and linked quite a bit of stuff in the last couple of weeks. The first thing was a before and after of Hecarim, before they made Hecarim look awesome. They had what Hecarim was going to look like, and then they had the updated Hecarim, which is the one that we have now, and the difference is huge.
It's just
He just
details.
had a huge jump in quality.
It's just details, but the details make him, man.
Indeed.
There was some-
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say there were some Darius renders, correct?
Yes, I'm going to talk about everything. There was Darius, and it was actually an old version of Darius where he had a double-headed axe, where it was the blade on both sides. That is not what his axe looks like in game, but it was what it was going to look like. But they changed it, so one side was the blade, and the other side was the mean old hook. So that's when he does the apprehend ability. I suppose if the blade, the axe was double bladed, and they wanted to keep the hook ability, they would have to make the hook ability do damage, because I'm not sure you could hook somebody with a double bladed axe without chopping something off.
Yeah.
And then they had concepts of Dark Crystal Rise and Valentine's Vein. And it's definitely the vein that you see in-game with Valentine's Vein, where it looks really lame and she's got the stupid haircut.
Wow.
She looks terrible in-game. The splash art's awesome, but she looks terrible in-game.
Vayne just sort of needs an update.
She does.
Yeah, she does.
Not as much as other people, but it's still sort of there.
She would deserve it. She's always been like one of the most popular characters in League of Legends. Oh, Vayne's one of the hardest characters to play. Let me play her because she's awesome. And yeah, that's all he did for now.
And I love how much he's updating all of this.
Oh yeah, we're getting a new render every week or so, every couple of days.
Yeah.
2 a week about. And he's going to start trying to get more stuff and concepts out for the new Master Yi, because a lot of people are asking for that. Yes. We got the results of the restricted chat feature. Lyte went on to talk about how well this feature was working. What the feature was if you were reported a lot for being a jerk in chat and raging at people, instead of getting a time ban, you would get a restricted chat. First they did the thing where they nudge you like, hey, you're getting reported a lot. And then they would do the thing where it's like, okay, your chat things are restricted. And then if you kept being a jerk after that, then you would get a time ban. So restricted chat has been working out rather fantastically. A lot of people are like, oh, well, this is actually working out for me, because a lot of people, when they rage, they aren't in control of themselves. They just start raging, and they go down into this whirlpool of angst and anxiety, and they can't really stop themselves, even if they don't want to rage. A lot of people who rage don't actually want to rage. But they start, and then the people fight back, and then you get into an argument, and everything goes to heck. That's what the restricted chat feature is for. You definitely have to pick out what you say. So you only get like a couple of things to say per match. So you have to really make them count. And you have to think about what you say. So if you blow all of your chat thingies on telling people they're terrible and not saying anything useful, you're probably going to lose the game, because you can't say things that are important. And the reason they want to move more towards things like restricted chat and stuff instead of just banning people is because a lot of people they ban just make new accounts and then terrorize the lobbies. So they're looking into ways of restricting people while letting them play on their main accounts, so they don't make new accounts. Because nobody's going to go make a Smurf account because they can't talk in chat. And if they do, then they deserve to be banned.
Then they just have too much free time on their hands, and they need to go get a job.
Ouch.
I'm just saying.
Ouch.
That's a lot of time to waste to create a new account just to harass people.
League of Legends accounts are really easy to make, though.
Still.
That's why banning in League of Legends has never really been like the end-all be-all solution, because they just make new accounts and terrorize everybody.
They should tie it to like your email or something, so then you have to go through the process of making a whole new email.
Can they not do it an IP ban?
That would suck though, because like, doesn't that ban everyone in your household?
Yes.
But if the problem's severe enough.
But there's also, okay, the issue of tying it to an email is that they can just make a new email. If people care enough, they don't mind making a new email. The problem with an IP ban is that IPs are really easy to change. So people who are really dedicated will just change their IP and keep coming back.
And the whole punishing, like if there's more than one person in your household that plays it and they IP ban you, I don't think Riot is willing to go to the point where they have to hurt someone in order to, someone who hasn't done anything wrong just to get to one person that has done something wrong. That doesn't seem like a path they would want to go on.
As well as the fact that, the person that they are trying to punish can probably just change to their IP and be right back on, so everybody else in their house gets the IP ban, and the person who actually committed the crime didn't get punished at all. So yes, solutions like this are much more useful, because the person can keep playing the game, they're not making Smurf accounts, they're not causing anyone else harm, and they have a chance to give them to reform. If you're a good enough guy, you can you can get out of the restricted chat, and you can have your chat privileges back, and you can understand what it is. You can understand that chat is a privilege, not something to abuse. Overall, I think he said that people who went through restricted chat and came out well got like 20% less reports or something, which is actually pretty nice. And another interesting tidbit that Lyte says was that people don't report as often as they say they do. If somebody in a game is like, "Oh, you're reported," then they're probably not actually going to do it. So people who are like, "Oh, everybody in the game said they were going to report me, and I'm going to get banned just because of this one game." No, you're not. You're really not, unless you're a jerk in all your other games. But one game, most people, they get to the stat screen and they just click away, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess I could have reported that guy, but I didn't really care." And congratulations, you just dodged a report. And if it's just the truly, angsty people who stay around to report you, and it's like one or two guys, and this is the only game you've been bad in, you're fine. You're fine. And well, that's all I got. So, do you like trains? Do you like rails? You're not going to like this segment. Derailed Hat segment.
I don't have a lot to talk about this week. The only thing that really had my interest was a nice little game called A Hat in Time. No relation. By what were they called?
They are the I got it. Gears for Breakfast.
Gears for Breakfast. Their Kickstarter, by the time this video is posted, is probably going to be over. It's a nice little platformer, like a 3D platformer collectathon, just like Banjo-Kazooie and all those other cool games from the N64 era. And they wanted to make one of these because why wouldn't you want one of these? One of these games hasn't been made in like generations of consoles and games and stuff, so that'd be really cool. And from what we've seen of it, we have prototype footage floating around the internet, and it looks fantastic already, even though it's in like alpha. So I'm pretty excited for this, and obviously a lot of other people are too, because they asked for 30,000, and at this point they've almost got 300,000.
And this was only in a month.
That's 10 times what they wanted, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Almost,
they've
yeah.
had so many stretch goals. They're getting Grant Kirkhope, the
Banjo-Kazooie?
composer of Banjo-Kazooie, is going to be making lots of songs for this game, which is really cool.
Banjo-Kazooie had fantastic music, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And just this game is shaping up to be really cool. Looking at some of these stretch goals, they got developer commentary, co-op, like 2 more chapters than they thought they'd have, voice acting, New Game Plus, and yeah, just all this cool stuff.
Multiplayer.
I said co-op, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like cooperative play, which is all is fantastic. So, yeah, keep an eye on this game. Sadly, you're probably not going to be able to kickstart it after this video's up, but yeah.
But But you can still, they have a release date of, they're aiming for February of 2014, so that's not too far away. Some of the things I want to mention about it is it's controller compatible for computers. So I'm believing that you can use the Xbox. I haven't done it myself, but I've seen people do it.
It's got inbuilt Xbox controller support. I've seen people use like other controllers. Like there's ways of getting it to work. So yeah.
They're hoping that they can get it on the Wii U, but that's nothing that's confirmed. And if you want, you can go on to stream Greenlight and vote for it because it's on there as well.
Right, Greenlight. Definitely do that.
Yeah. And I'm so debating on if I want to get the beta access. One of the cool things is for $50, you get the actual box, like a physical copy of it, and it looks like the old N64 boxes.
It's so cool. They have a lot of cool prizes like that, or donation tiers. You can get like posters and soundtracks, and some of the higher stuff includes like characters or models in the game.
And I just want to add in that the enemy in this game is Mustache Girl. She looks like Red Riding Hood with a mustache.
It's so brilliant.
Everything about it looks amazing, and I want to play it now. So yeah, that's a thing. I can't believe they made so much money.
I can. I think it's about time another one of these games was made. And I'm glad it's looking really good as it is.
The crowd has spoken.
So well done, Kickstarter. And that's all I have to talk about. But Tybalt, is there a certain game that came out that you would like to talk about?
Yes, Magic: Duels of the Planeswalkers 2014. It's Duels of the Planeswalkers, like the last 3 that came out. Slightly updated, a lot of nice little fixes and quality of life changes. Like they finally added the button of attack with all creatures for your combat phase.
Oh, nice.
Or withdraw all your creatures.
So when you've got like 400 tokens on the battlefield, you don't have to click each individual one.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
Took them long enough.
It still has some dumb design decisions, like the option for it to auto-assign combat damage if you have multiple blockers is turned on automatically. So that's already screwed me over a couple of times where I'll have my creature blocked by multiple creatures, and it kills everything except for the creature I wanted it to kill.
Auto-assign damage is kind of dumb.
Indeed. Also, they switched the buttons at the start of the game that is draw a new hand or play the game, and that's messed me up a couple of times because it's like, oh yeah, I love this hand, this is the best possible hand I could have gotten, let's play the game, and I hit the button and it draws a new crappy hand and I just cry.
Does it let you choose which mana you spend on which card yet for multicolor decks?
They did that in the last game. Did
they?
Yes.
Oh, well,
so yes, that's still in here, and there are multicolor decks. At first, it seemed like it was only going to be monocolor decks, but then they threw the Sliver and the June deck at you. So that's red, green, white, and red, green, black. And then, of course, there's supposedly a Dimir deck. I haven't gotten to that one yet, and that'll be blue, black. But I was really disappointed that the white decks were both mono white, which was a bit depressing. But they are very good. Both decks are fantastic. Both have like a Baneslayer, and then the Avacyn based one has Avacyn herself in it.
Oh, neat.
Great stuff. They are definitely a lot more liberal about what powerful cards they give you, which is pretty nice.
What kind of game modes does it have? Does it still have like Plane Chase and stuff?
They dropped Plane Chase to bring up Sealed Draft.
Okay.
So it's essentially a build your own deck thing, except you are quite limited on what you get. You get, the 6 booster packs, and that's what you have. You build a deck out of the 6 booster packs, a 40 card deck. You get to choose whatever lands you want, and you go from there.
Do you need humans to play that, or?
No. There is a single player campaign where you can unlock more boosters, or you can just take your 6 boosters and go straight into PvP.
Huh.
Yes.
That's actually pretty cool.
It has a rating system for how good your deck is, and I was a little disappointed in myself that every deck I made, every combination of the cards that I got, well, always ended up average. And I'm like, okay, can you do better? Because it has an auto build your deck option where it calculates your deck and makes it itself. And then it makes its own deck, and it's like, this is the best possible deck. And I'm like, screw you, game. Screw you.
That sounds like the game's just being mean.
Indeed. But the AI is very smart in this game. They really stepped up the AI. They pull some really clever stuff and use a lot of cool game mechanics. There's the card Path to Exile, where you get to exile a creature, and that creature's controller gets a land. I was using that on myself to get myself a land. Oh, I'm just going to exile one of my creatures. And the game was like, nope. And my opponent zapped the creature before I could exile it. So I wasted my exile card, and I didn't get the land. And still lost the creature. Like, oh, good job, game.
That's kind of mean.
It's nice seeing it be a little bit more realistic, though.
Indeed. I'm not really liking it better than I like 2013 at this point. A lot of the cards are kind of lame. Like Garut's deck is just terrible so far. Without any of the unlocks, it's just terrible. And I know it's wrong to say that, like, oh, it doesn't have any of the unlocks, it shouldn't be good. But then you get a Johnny's deck, and then you get the Mono White Avison Soldier deck, and both of those are fantastic without any unlocks. And it's just like, screw you, game. Screw you. But this is the closest we've gotten to, like, an official Cockatrice, because of the deck builder option.
I'm so glad for that.
Indeed. So hopefully, hey, maybe Magic 15, 2015 will get the full deck builder, and we can just play Cockatrice online. But if they don't do that, there's actually good news because of Lotus. Lotus is another crowdfunding thing getting crowdfunded. If any of you have heard of Cockatrice, it is a free online program that lets you play Magic the Gathering. But recently it was brought down due to copyright claims, even though it was free. I guess Wizards didn't really like them having the program because if people are playing it on Cockatrice, they're not playing it for real and they're not buying the cards.
Just totally BS, because I bought so many cards because of Trice.
It's true. It's very true.
You also avoided buying so many cards from it.
So?
Well, I'm just saying, in their standpoint, if you were playing it for real, you would have spent a lot more money making all these mistakes.
We bought 2 fat packs for Gatecrash. I don't want to hear.
I'm pretty sure we bought 2 for the first one, too.
Probably. Anyway, moving on.
Lotus is going to take the coding and scripting for that game, for Cockatrice, and evolve on it and make it like you can play any card game you like on this. So that will help, hopefully, dodge lawsuits and such. So, it's not on Kickstarter. It's on a Kickstarter-like site.
Rocket Hub, I think? Is that what it's called?
Yes, it was Rocket Hub. So it's there. You can crowdsource it if you want to. I'm pretty sure it's already been funded because people really want Cockatrice back. It was a fantastic program. And there's been a hole in my heart since it's been gone, not being able to play Magic with any of the cards that I want. But if I don't get my fill from the sealed thing from 2014, and if 2015 lets me down as well, then at least there's Lotus.
And I hope it does well. And it should be really cool because it's like it's a very open version of Cockatrice. You can play probably anything from Go Fish to poker to Pokemon to Magic.
And it's supposed to be a lot more user-friendly, which is one of the main things that turn people off from Cockatrice. You had to put in some time to actually learn how all this stuff worked.
Trice worked pretty well, but yeah, you needed to figure it out first.
There was room for improvement.
So hopefully this will do well.
All right.
Well,
As a closing thought, There are 4 videos that we have uploaded recently that we've put a lot of work into, and I would love some feedback on them. So I'm going to link them in the end of the video, and they are How to League of Legends. We're starting up our own series for either new players or for experienced players to come and help teach new people how to play League of Legends. And the 4 videos we have out so far is the first one was an introduction to League, explain as much as we could about League within 5 minutes. Then we had a champions and who to play video, a stats and items video. We also talked about runes and masteries, and then a last hitting and team fighting video. And we're hoping to expand crazily on this idea. So if you're interested, go check those out. Let me know what you think. If there's
Ask
any video,
questions.
yeah, if there's anything that you have questions about, if there's anything you want a video that's like a specific video for, either comment here or comment on those, and I'd love to see where those can take off. And that's all I
Yeah.
got.
I think we're
All right,
done
thank
for
you
this
very
week.
much. This has been HTMcast 16. I am Ty.
I miss you.
I'm Hat.
HTM out!